Hey BTS crew, this is Cassie and
Rochelle.
so guys, as you can see, we're at the park today because this episode is a little bit different. We really wanted to get real and vulnerable with you guys. Well, I think we always are,
Yes,
but
today
today is a special day.
because we're going deep into it. Real deep.
Exactly. And we thought it's only fitting to do it from a peaceful park, right?
Yes.
So let's jump into it. We're gonna start with our origin stories, and we'll start with Rochelle, the founder
Yes.
that we all know and love. Why did you start breaking the silence?
Okay, guys, so let's get into it. So in 2024, I faced one of the hardest seasons of my life. When I say hard, I mean hard. So it started with me feeling very distant, right? I didn't want to speak to anybody. I stayed in my room majority of the time, and I work from home. So it took so much out of me to just get out of bed and get work done. So my productivity level was very low. My motivation was very low. I had no zeal to leave the house. And that continued for over a month. And one day I sat on my bed and I said, I cannot continue living my life like this. Something has to change. I used to have constant crying spells, Cassie. Constant crying spells. Like it would just come out of nowhere. And I really could not pinpoint what exactly was causing me to feel that way. So when I realized things were not getting better, I said I need to seek professional help. And that's when I reached out to a therapist. So thankfully, the therapist offered virtual sessions because I wasn't in a space for me to go outside. My hair was in a mess. My eyebrows were not done for the ladies. Oh, you know, your eyebrows always have to be on flick.
Girl, let me tell you.
My eyebrows were not done. I just felt like a complete mess. So when I learned that she offered virtual sessions, I felt like that was the perfect opportunity for me and the perfect setting to be at home in the comfort of my room. So yes, I went to therapy, and it took a lot out of me to open up because you're talking to a stranger.
Yeah.
Like, how do I tell a stranger everything that has been going on with me?
Yes.
And that stranger is trying to dig deep into my life to understand why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. So you know what that means? We had to go back to my childhood.
But you know, as you said that, how do I tell this to a stranger? You know what comes to mind? How sometimes it can be easier talking to strangers than to your own family and friends.
It's true.
They come from a mind or like preconceived mind frame of who they think you are.
Right.
And they bias
the expectations of
the
you
expectation
too.
exactly, and they're a bit biased. So sometimes they're not looking at it clearly. They're looking at it in a biased way. And even when you've changed, sometimes they still see you as the old Rochelle or the old Cassie.
That is so true.
And they're not able to make a proper judgment because of the biasness and how close you all are.
Right.
So I feel like that's why sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than people.
Yes, and I agree. But some persons, they find it difficult. Like they need to build that level of trust with the person before they can open up, right? Because you're putting your life out there. How do you trust that person? I know, like, as a professional, confidentiality is key, but then you will still have that reservation. How do I trust that person?
Right.
But I took a leap of faith and I did it. At first, my camera was off because I don't know you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to show my face. I just need your help. But then gradually, as the sessions went on, I became more comfortable. So what the therapist did, she asked a lot of questions, and it brought me back to my childhood. Growing up, I had very strict parents, right? And that had an impact on me because I felt like I could not express myself the way I wanted to express myself. And because of that, I developed anxiety. and I felt like I always had to be perfect. So that, like a build up of that, because we're talking about when I was a child, I am now in my 30s. So a build up of that, like, led to the depression. Then I had other personal issues, relationship issues, work issues, academic issues, working from home. And I want to stress on working from home, because sometimes people think when you work from home, you have it easy. But when you work from home, you're confined to a space and you don't like socialize with people. Sometimes you barely see outside, especially if it is a very demanding job. Yes, there is a flexibility, but if work is very demanding, you wake up, you get off the bed, you go to your desk, and the cycle continues. You never see outside, and and if you don't get that vitamin D, that also contributes. Vitamin D, which you get from sunlight, that also contributes to depression. So it was a series of events that had occurred in my life, not just at one instance, but over a couple of years. We're talking about like 20 years. I was the soft-spoken one in the class. I was the one who feared speaking publicly and all of that. So let's get back to the depression. So I did my therapy, and we, as I said, we pointed out the possible causes. And I kept doing therapy, and I was still feeling the same way. So my therapist said, Rochelle, sometimes talk therapy is not enough. So you need to see a psychiatrist. At that point, I felt bad because, society, once you've seen a psychiatrist, oh, she crazy. She going crazy.
Like if it's
she
to the
losing her
point
head.
where you need to take medication, then it's really bad. Okay.
But I want to let you guys know that this belief that society has tried to instill in us, it is far from the truth. The same way, when you're ill, you go to a physician, a general practitioner, to get checked up, and they prescribe you medication. It's the same thing with your mental health, because when your mental health is not at its best, it triggers into physical symptoms, right? So I want you guys to know that you do not, and I would say it again, you do not have to fear going to a psychiatrist. Some persons don't even want people to know that they're going to a psychiatrist, and that's fine, and that's why virtual sessions exist.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to a physical location. So people say, oh, she going to see the psychiatrist. You can do it in the comfort of your home. And if any of you are interested, you can DM us, and then we will advise you on which therapist offers virtual sessions.
We have I know, a lot of people had concerns about pricing and stuff. I think we have both options of lower pricing and higher pricing.
Right.
So we do have a range of, affordable options.
Right.
So do not fear. Just don't be afraid to ask.
To reach out to us. We're more than happy to assist. Yes. So I did what I had to do. I went to a psychiatrist. I got prescribed antidepressants and coupled with some other medications. And here I am today. And I sat there and I said, if I felt that way, there must be other persons out there who feel that way, or who have felt that way, that needs that help that I got. Probably they're not in a space for them to in a financial state of, they're not financially able to afford therapy, because we know therapy can be expensive, seeing a psychiatrist can be expensive. So therapy, because we know therapy can be expensive, seeing a psychiatrist can be expensive. So that is why I started breaking the silence, so that persons can feel heard, seen, and understood. Because sometimes all it needs is for you to have somebody to talk to vent, to let it out. So that is the real reason behind breaking the silence, the creation of breaking the silence.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. So